up, guys? It's me. Ooh, squeaky chair. LerdyWise, back in the building. Today we are going to review, reaction, whatever, for Avengers Endgame. Quick video. I'm not gonna try to make this one as long as the last one. It's just a quick kind of recap. A quick recap of the movie. Second time seeing it, you know. Did the first time view. Now we've had to do second time view. And this time I decided to go see it with my little nephew. Just to kind of get a kid's or a child or, you know, a younger person's perspective on the movie, right? I mean, I didn't ask him any questions or anything, but just to see his reaction, see how he reacted to certain scenes and stuff in the film. And surprisingly well, you know what I mean? He stuck in there. He watched the full 3-hour movie. I'm not gonna sit here and say he understood everything, but he noticed things, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. But I think in my last video I gave it like a 9 out of 10. Now I want to give it like an 8. I want to give it like an 8. It deducted a few points just due to a few plot holes and a few things that I'm like, right. Let's see, where should I start? I'm trying to think of all the things where I just kind of had problems with. Thanos, head off, chop his head off. Wait for the head. 5 years later. First and foremost, first thing I gotta say, everything was saved by a rat. Let's just put that out there. Master Splinter saved the world, bro. Master Splinter saved us all, right? If you honestly think about it, because if that rat didn't touch down on that pad to let Ant-Man out, these niggas would have never had the idea to go time travel and shit like that. So, first and foremost, the real MVP of Endgame is the rat. Facts. Big facts. First and foremost. Second, this is another thing that I really noticed this second watch through. Like, it was still a good movie. There was no complaints about it. Like, it's still a good watch. It's still a good superhero movie. Like, I don't care what you say. It's a good movie. 8 out of 10. Like, 8 out of 10 for sure now. First, like, if you first watching it, you definitely gonna give it like a 9 out of 10 just because of what it is, you know what I mean? Kind of wraps things up. But I'm trying to think of the movie in chronological order and the way it is. Time travel. Oh, that for sure. I got a question about that. And then what else? Oh, I had a friend of mine say that there wasn't really any world building in Endgame, which I agree, disagree. But like I'd really have to ask him, like, what do you mean by world building and what kind of detail do you mean by that? But he was saying, I remember he was saying something about there not being, you know, any kind of, because there's a 5-year gap between when they chopped Thanos' head off to the point in time where they finna figure shit out. And within that 5-year span, I'm guessing, you know, he wants more backstory. Like, all right, what happened during that 5-year span? Like, what went down, what went on, like, da. And, you know, like, half the people are going off this earth. What kind of impact did that have on the earth? And, like, first and foremost, I can get it. I can get that on a worldly impact, because they did only take from, like, selected parts. Because, like, from that scene with Captain America, and he was talking to the people around the room or whatever, and they were like, oh, we're missing out. I can't, da 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 da, and he's like, push through. Hold on, let that pass. But I felt like that was a bit of world building right there, because it showed, people that are not the superheroes, at least give them some kind of inclination, like, damn, we kind of have to go to therapy for this, us having to deal with the fact that we just lost a bunch of people, or we just lost maybe loved ones or family or people that we really cared about, and da 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 da. So boom, like I can see that, and then you could also see the pan over shots of the city where the world is destroyed and stuff like that. And then even Captain America made like a little small comment when he went to go talk to Widow. He was like, oh man, I saw some whales when I was crossing the bridge to get here, and they were like, oh, the water's cleaner, so obviously you gonna like it gave hints at it. But yeah, I get where my homie was talking about, like it could be a little bit built more upon. But at the same time, I feel like, man, you adding like another maybe 20 minutes to the movie, where when in reality people really just want to get right down to the business. That was the same with Infinity War. People just really just wanted to see the Avengers fight Thanos. They didn't really care for the build up. People wanted to see the final product, is in my opinion. But yeah, that I think that was the point I was looking at, was the old whatever I just discussed, because my memory's bad. There's nothing there. Forgive me. When I cannot think. When Tony and Cap went back in time to the 70s or whatever to get, is it the Space Stone? I can't remember, the fucking Tesseract or whatever, right? I could have sworn, like, call me out if I'm wrong, but I could have sworn in what am I thinking? When I could have sworn in one of the was it? I think it was in the fucking first Captain America movie, right? Right, yeah, it was a little bit of inconsistency, right? But like in the first Captain America, right? Didn't like the Tesseract was on the ship, he was fighting Red Skull, da 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 da. Didn't he pick up the Tesseract and that shit just like fucking destroyed him? And then when he dropped the Tesseract, didn't that shit just like burn through metal? So how was Tony able to take this almighty powerful cube and put it in a regular suitcase? I know it's very nitpicky. It's not very like, oh my god, like that's not a big deal, but just a little inconsistency. Like, how is he able to put this Tesseract that's in this fucking metal safe lock vault, and he puts it in a regular old suitcase? That just kind of confused me, like a little bit. Like, how are you doing that? My next, I guess, gripe would be, what's her name? I cannot think. Obviously, I'm bad at this. Nebula, right? Yeah. Okay. I get this, I get it, but I'm questioning, right? With hold on. Yeah, I'd say one of my biggest gripes is with Nebula. Like, I feel like a whole bunch of shit could have been avoided if she didn't run all the way back to the ship. Like, when she, had the thing, like, oh, Thanos knows, he knows, right? My whole thing is, why you run back to the ship? Like, I get that the whole shock thing prevented you from just doing that immediately, right? But, alright, he knows now. Alright, let me just go back. Like, but here's where, like, Here's where like things get, like, oh, whatever, right? Did Thanos know where the Soul Stone was before he found it and knew what to do, how to do it with Gamora in Infinity War? Because that's how he got it, was Infinity War. That's when he killed Gamora, right? So did he already know where the Soul Stone was before that, or did he find out where the Soul Stone was in Infinity War? Because all right, if he didn't even know where the Soul Stone was, why does she need to run back to the ship to try to warn? You know what? I might be contradicting myself, because obviously, if he got the memory out of Nebula through the old Nebula, then he probably knows, oh, it's at so and so. But then it's like, my thing is, like, I felt like she could have just went back. She could have just went back in time. There was no need for her to, because obviously they got her, and then the old Nebula takes on the moniker of the new Nebula, and she's able to use the time thing. So it's like, if she'd have just went back in time, the old Nebula would have never had a way to get back to the present day. And then I'm pretty sure as soon as, Hawkeye, well, that's where we get finicky. Like, how is this taking place in time frame of what's going on with what's going on? Of course, it's scene by scene, so you don't know if this scene is going on at the same time as this scene, or is it going on a little bit after this scene. But because I'm pretty sure Hawkeye would have, he'd got the stone, hit his watch, boom, went back. He'd have been sad. We all sad. Widow died, but boom, he could have hit that, went back, and everybody got the stones. No new fake Nebula. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm, again, me being nitpicky, but why she just didn't time travel back? Like, there was no need for you to run to the ship to tell them. You don't even know. They probably would have already got their stone and been by the time. Because obviously, in my opinion, Thanos would have landed where Nebula and Rhodey, War Machine. Yeah, because they would have had to land. All right, where they go, what they get. Did they get the soul? Did they get the stone? Whatever. Like, I'd have felt like Thanos would have had to send some people down to investigate before he would have dipped off to the next planet to get the Soul Stone. Like, I'm pretty sure Natasha and fucking Hawkeye would have been done got the, well, obviously Hawkeye would have got the Soul Stone before. Yeah, it would have been back in time. Like, that's me. I'm being a little nitpicky, but again, I'm just saying, like, it's kind of unnecessary. Just me. I think I got 2, maybe 3 more points, but I think one of them we kind of, can go find another YouTube video about it that can answer that more, because they know everything or whatever. But the gauntlet, the 3 people that put on the fucking glove with the Infinity Stones in the movie: Hulk, Tony Stark, Iron Man, and Thanos. Hulk put on the glove. The feeling I got from him when he put on the glove and he was feeling the power going through his body or whatever, it's like if somebody stubbed their toe. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, fuck. Like, you're trying to hold it in. Like, just don't think about it, almost, in a way. Don't think about the pain. Don't think about the pain. It's just like a quick stub of the toe. Up until, when he snapped it, then it was a little bit more aggressive. Like, oh, this hurt. Like, I, pulled a muscle or something, right? Before he snapped to bring everybody back. If I were to scale the intensity of how much pain that glove was causing, like the Hulk or Thanos, whatever, I'd give Hulk maybe like a 6 out of 10. I don't feel like he was just struggling, like it was just that, but he could feel it. You know what I mean? He could handle it. Cause it just, like, in my opinion, that's what it seemed like to me. It's like, oh, he stubbed his toe, so it kind of hurt a bit. You know what I'm saying? Not in some very painful, but just like, oh, that hurt. You know what I mean? Type ordeal. Thanos put on the glove, and I got this sense of just like, oh, like I can feel, like he could feel it. really much of pain, but just like, let me try to absorb all this in a way, you know, like, and it was definitely, this was before Thanos was even more stronger than he was, because I'd imagine the Thanos that fought in Infinity War is stronger than the Thanos from 5 years ago in 2014 or whatever, right? But who knows? That's a little bit younger Thanos. It's a little bit, who knows? Whatever, right? But I get the same impression like when he put it on in the other movie. It's just like, oh, I can feel this power going through me, and let me try to absorb it. So he didn't really give much of pain to me, more of just like, oh, let me soak it in. But, you know, of course, obviously, a little pain in there. A little pain, right? So, but like I said, if I were to scale that out of 10, I'd give Thanos maybe like a 5-4. You know what I'm saying? Not really more painful, just more of just trying to, you know what I mean? Like, and then last but not least, Iron Man, Mr. Tony Stark. He puts on a glove. He just like kind of feels it. Like, He doesn't do any like real mad grunting or whatever. He has enough to just get off his line. I am Iron Man. Snap, boom, and you know. But obviously Tony dies, so he can't completely handle it like Thanos and Hulk. So like, I get the whole like, oh, he didn't show the pain from putting on that much power, right? But I don't know, and gotta go back to the comics. But then I'm not a real big comic reader, so it's hard for me to go back to the comics and be like, oh man, fuck, he didn't stick to the comics. In the comics, he was able, like, I've never read the comics, so it's hard for me to be like, what powers Tony has, right? And then the only reason I give maybe a little bit of credit to Tony not being too phased by putting on the glove is for one, he's human. And here we go. People gonna be like, well, the Hulk is human. Yeah, but the Hulk is like a human mixed with a bunch of gamma radiation. Like, I'm not no scientist, I'm not no professional, whatever, right? But I'd imagine at that point, especially him staying in a state of Hulk and being able to, I'd imagine he's just a little bit more gamma radiation than human at that point. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could be wrong. He could be all human and it's just a bunch of gamma radiation. I don't know, right? And then Tony's just like complete human. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's just a bare human. Like, shit, you could even say some bullshit like, oh, his heart soaked up some of that power so it didn't hurt him as much. Like I said, some BS. Maybe it has something to do with brain. You know what I mean? Tony's brain is just ridiculous, right? A lot of energy going through your brain. Possibly. I don't know. I'm just saying Tony took it a way more easier than Hulk and Thanos, or at least as far as that power surging through me. Like, I felt like he would have had a different feat, you know what I mean? But that's another thing one of my homeboys was talking about. So just I thought about that as I was watching the second movie. I was like, let me look out for how each of them feels when they put on the glove. And then another thing that one of my friends, that same homeboy, had a problem with was how Tony got the stones off of Thanos. And my only answer for that is Tony Tech. Simple answer, Tony Tech. Like, think about it, bro. Like, even when they showed the scene where they were putting the stones in the glove, you could see the glove move, and you see all the nanotech technology just moving and componenting, moving, and you can see the actions of the nanotechnology in the hand. So my thing is, and then he was talking about he didn't see enough time for Tony to make that move. I'm like, he had plenty of time. Now that I watched it again, he had plenty of time. He was literally holding on to Thanos' hand for like 5 seconds. That's plenty of time. Like, when they were constructing the Iron Man gauntlet for the stones went in there in like a few seconds. They easily just went right where they needed to go in just a few seconds. Like, so that didn't surprise me and then it's Tony's suit. The glove is his. Like, it's his technology. I'm surprised he didn't have some type of, that would have been smart, some type of contingency plan that, like, if it's not one of the Avengers, like if Thanos puts this on, it'll just automatically cut off his hand. Think about it. If Marvel was a little darker, that would have worked. That would have been a thing. Especially is his technology, he could have been like Friday, chop or some shit, and then there goes Thanos' hand. You know, that was a thing that my homeboy had a problem with, but I completely I didn't see a problem with it. What's the last thing? What's the last tidbit I wanted to hit on? Old Cap. Like, I get the whole changing of time universes. You go to this and you change something, it's just gonna basically create a different alternate universe. But that same past that you came from still exists because it already exists. So I get that. How does old Cap, like, my question is there two Captain Americas now besides the black dude becoming the new besides the black dude becoming the new Captain America? Is there two Caps? Because remember, Cap got frozen in ice for like 70 years or some shit or whatever, right? Right. He got frozen for like 70 years or whatever. Right. So, did they ever unfreeze that Captain America? And if that Captain America did get unfrozen, was he doing all the stuff that the Avengers were doing up until that point? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then while that Captain America was actually being Captain America, was the other Captain America from the future, did he come back and was he just living a normal life with old girl? While all this shit with, like, this nigga capable of getting out there scrapping and shit. Well, probably not, because he's an old man if he actually lived from the 40s up. So yeah, he would be an old Cap. But that'd be my one of my questions. Is there two Captain Americas? Is there one that was frozen in ice while the other one was macking on his girl while he just chilling in ice, or what? And if they did unfreeze him from the ice, how was that nigga feeling when he looked back and found out, like, yeah, like, hold up, like time paradoxes and shit. But anyway, that's all I wanted to discuss. Fucking Endgame, great film, 8 out of 10 now. I still do not hold it to high regards as Winter Soldier. I still say Infinity War is better than Endgame, just as far as the whole seriousness aspect to the film. Like, there was a lot on the line in Infinity War. Endgame, there was still a lot on the line, but it didn't feel that way. There was like jokes being cracked, like, and of course there's always jokes being cracked in Marvel movies, so it's not like, you know, like, I don't know, it felt more lighthearted. Like, it didn't really feel like much was on the line until that last bit when, you know, Black Widow died getting the Soul Stone, Thanos finding out. That's when shit really kind of got more serious. Up until that, it was just kind of like, oh, references here, oh, remember this movie, you know, just some throw-ins and stuff to just build up to that last like 30-40 minutes of the movie. So, but other than that, man, 8 out of 10, still a good movie. I still say Infinity War is better than Endgame, but Winter Soldier is definitely the best Marvel movie in my opinion. It's just the best. It's just the best one. And go see that shit, man. Go give Marvel and Disney your money. I think the next movie is what, Spider-Man Far From Home. So when that comes out, hopefully I can, you know, go get a good viewing of that, and, you know, bring another little review, first sight reaction, you know, and you know, keep it rolling. You know what I'm saying? Keep it rolling. Yeah, man. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm gonna try to get more out there for you guys. Hit that subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and like the video. Leave a motherfucking comment. And yeah, until the next one. You know what I'm saying? I'll catch y'all later. Deuces.